right, guys, we are back here on the No Name interview. Watkins behind the camera, of course. In the front of the camera today, we got Joey McMullins coming in from Hillsborough, North Carolina. Well known, well loved. Let's get into it, guys. It is, once again, the No Name interview. There is no name for it. And that's it, man. We're going to jump in. If basketball didn't work, what was kind of the plan B for you?
So I didn't get into basketball until like a little later. So I didn't start really getting to like, oh, I could be good at basketball until about middle school. So before that, I mean, I don't know, when I was younger, I wanted to be one of those, the truck guys that deliver, you get off the truck, get the trash real quick. I was really, a little country guy. But if it didn't work out, this is a tough one. I would say probably, well, I'm doing it now, probably construction.
That's great. That's
Keeps me
great.
busy all the time, man. Hey, it's a lovely job.
If you love it, I love it too. For sure. What other sports did you play coming up, though? Other than, of course, basketball.
Okay, I played baseball. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how people play baseball. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I would sit. They would put me in the outfield because I wasn't good, So I'd stick in the outfield and start picking grass and sitting down. They'd be like, Joey, you got to stand up. I'm like, I don't like this. Then what else did I do? Cross country. Didn't like that either. Too much running.
That's a shocker.
It shouldn't be no shocker on that one. Hey, and the shorts. So in middle school at the time, I had an appearance, and I really didn't like the short shorts at the time for cross country. And let's just say things didn't really work out too good on the cross country track. So decided to part my ways. Had to give it up on that one. Then, what other sports did I play? I did wrestling. Stopped that quick, real fast.
That's interesting.
I got slammed on my head. I was like, yo, I need to stop doing this. This is a no bueno on this one. No, sir.
Wrestling, guys.
Then,
wrestling.
What else did I do? I would say fishing, but that wasn't really a sport to me. I just would go out there and see who catch the most fish, and I caught the most fish every time. So.
My God. My God.
But sports-wise, I was going to play football. Then I realized I had like a really, really big head. And finding a helmet, for me personally, it's not very easy. So decided to step away from the football talks. It wasn't really, and I didn't want to get tackled and, So I stepped away from that.
A man doesn't like to be touched.
Yeah.
Gosh, man. So we're not really gonna switch gears, but I do have kind of a bonus question.
All right.
That I want to ask personally, and we did not have a nickname for him in high school, but he gained a nickname later on. Where does Joe Dirt come from? How fitting is that?
So it came when I was at my JUCO. So in my JUCO, I was the only white kid on the team. I loved it though. Hey, it was amazing. Like, hey, I was the token white boy. Hey, call me nicknames, all the stuff. I loved it. It was the best 2 years of my life. So I had the little, the little goatee going and the little hair, little shaggy hair going. Then they were like, my teammates were like, you seen the movie Joe Dirt? I'm like, yeah. The crazy guy that just walk around and do stupid stuff. I'm like, they're like, yeah, we're going to start calling you Joe Dirt. Then Big Scar dropped a song called Joe Dirt. And what a coincidence. I started getting called Joe Dirt and they make a song called Joe Dirt.
Big shout out to Scar, man.
Hey,
Scar kind of started all
hey, R.I.P. He a legend. I don't care what nobody says. But Joe Dirt came along. Then there was some more. It was Joe Shiesty. Yeah, I like that one. Joe Shiesty was a good one. Joe Shiesty was a good one.
Joe Shiesty.
Yeah. There was a lot. It was Joe Dirt, Joe Shiesty, McBuckets.
McBuckets.
Yeah.
That one would have stuck. I kind of like it.
Joe Dirt was the best one because I had the little goatee going, had my ears pierced. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling Joe Dirt right now. Yeah, that was, and then, bam, it just stuck. Like, then everybody started calling me Joe Dirt. I came home one weekend, they were like, Dirt, what's up? I'm like,
oh, it stuck for sure.
Oh, it stuck. Then we're in a game one time. We're playing we're actually playing on ESPN, and I'm rewatching the game. And the announcer was like, Joe Dirt goes to the free throw line. I'm like, well, shit. This ain't on national TV. Call me Joe Dirt.
Joe
Oh my
Dirt.
God.
We got to find that clip, guys. We got
I've been trying to find that clip, like, cause there was a clip of me. They said players to watch, and it had my name popped up, and it said nicknames to be called Joe Dirt.
Gotta find that.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Gotta find that. We're gonna go on a rabbit hole for you guys, and we're gonna definitely find it. We're gonna tag team that.
I'm gonna send it to him. Don't worry.
For sure.
I'm gonna send it to him. Don't worry.
For sure. So we're gonna kind of get into the gears of the kind of your career.
Okay.
You know, kind of what JUCOs did you go to? Because I mean, at one point you was in Philly.
Yeah, I was in Philly. That was
Yeah.
that was rough.
So how far was that? I mean, how'd you like that being from obviously Hillsborough to Philly?
So
how did that go?
So, when I graduated high school, it was all that COVID crap. So I wasn't really getting recruited. So I'm on Twitter one day just sending my highlights to coaches, and I look up in my feed, and it's like, this coach just got a job in Philly. So I'm just like, I look at them, they sucked the year before. So I'm like, no, let me just send it in. So I send it to him. Bam! Responds right back to me. Hey, Joe, we love your game, love your film. Want to get you up on a visit. I'm like, shoot, this is the only option I got right now. Let's go for it.
Right.
So me and my parents and my brother go up there, visit the school, meet the coach. Seemed like a good guy. So I'm like, F it, let's try it. So I committed to Brent Athyn College in Philadelphia.
Wow.
And at the time, I thought it was a fantastic idea. The coach was telling me, yeah, you're going to play 30 minutes a game. You're going to get all the shots you want. I'm like, oh, I'm loving this, man. As an 18-year-old, I'm like, yes, I'm going to make it to the NBA one day.
That's it. That's 18.
Yeah, that dream did not come true.
That is 18-year-old McMullin.
Yeah, so I go up there. So the school's a little different up there. It was a liberal arts school. I don't know what that means. It was a Christian school. It was just, I didn't really know. I just go up there to play ball. So I go up there, and we start school later than everybody because of COVID and all that. So I go up there, and I'm in a class called True Religion. I'm sitting there, I'm like,
wow.
Oh, shit. So everybody else who goes to that school, like, is like filtered from the high school. They've known the school, so they know they're all big into religion. So it's me and my homeboy. Shout out my boy Jamal Kennedy. He a hooper, bro. He can hoop. He goes to some school in Tennessee now. He's from the inner city of Baltimore. I'm from the woods in Durham, Rougemont area. So he get to talking. The professor was like, said something about some confusing stuff about religion. Everybody else raises their hand. I look at my teammate. I'm like, hey, bro, what the hell is he talking about? I have no. I'm sitting there. I'm like, so they came to me. I'm like, I don't know. Everybody starts laughing, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. They're talking about, I forgot his name, Emmanuel Sweetenberg. So to them, the school up there, that man invented everything. He invented the basketball shoes, the car, everything. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I have no idea who bro is. So yeah, that was my first like, whoa, this is gonna be fun. So during COVID up there, we couldn't get in the gym because of COVID. You had to wear masks and all that. So we had to hoop outside on the basketball court.
Oh wow.
So in the first semester, it's a 3-semester school. It's a little different up there. It's a trimester school, so fall, winter, spring. So the first semester, I'm loving it. Hey, I'm meeting new people, loving it. Hey, I'm getting to hoop, So like the week before we left for our break, it was like a month long. We practiced for like 2 weeks. I was doing good, Oh yeah, I was doing fine. No, actually, wait. Let me rewind. So I got hurt. I came home in October.
How'd you get hurt?
This is gonna be funny. Let me get ready. Let me tell you about this. So I come home for a weekend because I'm a little homesick. I'm a country kid. I miss my boys. All my friends home because their schools kicked them out because of all the COVID and all that stuff.
Right.
So I come home. It was supposed to be a Friday, Saturday, leave Sunday morning. Come back. I'm like, all my friends. I'm like, yo, come over to the house. We'll have a fun little time. So as a 18, 19-year-old kids, we did some stuff.
And we'll leave it right there.
We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there.
We'll leave it there. So yeah, we decided to go to a function, and we left the function very, very upset, and so we decided to go back to the function on my four-wheelers. And when we get to the function, nobody's there. So we decided to leave the function, and we're up the road from my house, not too far, we're at the four-wheeler there and stuff. So it's me, I'm not gonna say no names on this one. I want to say some names. Should
We'll
I
leave
say
it
some
out.
names?
We'll leave it out. We'll leave it
You
out.
know
We'll
the
leave it out.
name too.
We know the name.
I think it would be a funny story, but you know what? Screw it, man. So it's me, my boy Courtney Edwards, and my boy Tucker Miller. Love my guy to death, man. You laughing at it. So we're riding back. We get on this dirt road, and he's like, "Bro, let me drive." I'm just like, "All right, you can drive." So he hits the gas. We go flying. My other friend is on my other fooler. Stops in the middle of the road. We hit the back of it. Flew. I slid on gravel.
Oh, wow.
About 20 feet. You know, half my
Ouch.
butt's gone. Elbows all messed up. Blah blah. Ankles messed up. So I got hurt for a little bit. That's the moral of the story. I got hurt. Couldn't practice for a little bit. Kind of messed up my vibe a little bit before winter break. But I was like, man, let's just we'll be good.
Gotcha.
So came home for a month. In that month, I realized I hated Philadelphia and everything it standed for. No knock to Philadelphia. It's a pretty city. Like, hey. But me personally, I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. So that month I was home, I'm like, dude, why am I going back? So the day before I was supposed to leave, I looked at my mom. I was like, Ma, I don't want to go back. She was like, no, you can't do that. Just mad. You got to finish that shit out, blah, blah, blah. So she drove me up there, back to my dorm.
Right.
I get there.
That's a long way.
It's about 6.5 hours, 7 hours. So get back to my dorm. I'm just like, Ma, I don't want to go back. I can go in there and get my stuff. We can leave right now. She was like, no, I just finished this semester out, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, Ma, I got you. So I'm like, no, I can do this for my mom. So bam. Still not allowed in the gym. So I get this membership to some local YMCA up there. It's me, my other homeboy Jamal, and my boy Matt. And we're in there hooping, just working out. Then my boy Matt gets sick, gets a cough, and I'm like, fuck, he gonna get COVID. And I've been with him
The whole time.
So bam.
The whole time. You guys are inseparable.
So bam, he gets COVID, quarantined us for 2 weeks straight, could not leave my dorm.
Oh, wow.
So I'm in there going insane. I can't leave. I can't do nothing. So people who know me know I like to go out and do stuff. So, yeah. So that's what really started my downfall up there.
Gotcha.
I stopped doing my homework. I mean, I'm a man about it. I can tell you, I stopped doing my homework. Stopped going to class. I wasn't really liking basketball no more up there. So we only had it. So it's COVID. So it was in Division III. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't really care about it. So we had an 8-game
sure.
season. It got so bad, the coach suspended me the first 2 games of the season. I'm
wow.
like, well, shit. At this point,
how'd that feel? Getting suspended first 2 games of the season.
As an 18-year-old, I wish I could have handled it a little differently. But at me at the time, I was like, man, fuck this. I want to get out of here.
Right.
So after he did that, I'm just like, oh yeah, F it this month. I ain't gonna lie. I was drinking in my dorm, you know, before we had to come to games. Yeah, it was bad. It was a rough time. So then I get to play the next 2 games, and he puts me in like junk minutes. I'm like, oh no, F this. I'm not doing this shit no more. I'm like, what? I'm too good for this. At the time, 18, I was like, I wasn't really that good. I was out of shape.
That mindset.
Yeah, it was just different. So last 2 games come around, I'm just like, F it. So, bam, before we get on the bus, I'm in there. I'm like, man, I'm going to do a shot real quick. Drink it. Didn't play the whole game. Puts me in with like 4 minutes to go. I'm just like, I'll go in there and play. I didn't want to be out there. I had a wide open layup, passed it out. I'm just like, man, I don't want to be here no more. So,
wow.
the next game, we played double headers. So, the next game, we go there. He's like, go in the game. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to go in. We're down by 50. I'm not going in. He starts cussing me out, so I'm like, go in there. I just play. I get back on that bus. I call my Dukes. I'm like, Ma, I'm coming home. Come get me next week. I'm done.
Wow.
I'm done. I was mad about it. I mean, I was like, Coach, can I sit down with you in your office? Went in his office. I'm like, hey, I ain't really enjoying it up here no more. I'm going back home. It's all love. Thank you for bringing me up here. I really do appreciate it. Like, you've done a lot for me.
How did that go?
I mean, I think it went pretty well. He said some stuff to me, but I mean, he was a younger guy. I don't blame him. He said, I don't really see you seeing being an impact nowhere else. I'm like, oh, okay.
Fuel for the motivation, for sure.
Yeah, that's how Brent Athen went. Then came back home. Was kind of in a bad place. I was doing some stuff.
Yeah.
So
We ain't got to disclose
yeah,
it.
we
But
ain't
how
disclose it.
was that coming back home? I
I
mean,
mean, it was
from actually going,
the
kind of
field. Yeah,
against your dream. Yeah.
yeah. So it was a little different. I mean, I'm like, damn, like I ain't gonna hoop no more. I ain't working no. I wasn't even working at the time because I was supposed to be in school. So I'm like, shit, I don't know what I'm gonna
Wow.
do. So I went, did a little party, and got that out of my system. I'm like, man, I'm only 19. I just turned 19. I'm like, man, I gotta go back to school. So I met a guy named Scott Green. Shout him out. He kind of took me under his wing. Worked out with him.
Scott
Started playing
Green.
ball, just doing a lot more basketball stuff. So I'm like, oh yeah, this feels pretty good. So I get back into shape. I'm hooping. I was like, so what? I'm gonna send my film to JUCO. It's cheap. It's expensive, and it's not expensive. It's good ball. You get a good education for 2 years. So I'm just sending it out. So I'm looking at Sand Hills Community College. I'm like, well, shit, this looks pretty promising. Followed a guy named Mike Apple. I love you, Coach Apple. You're the best coach ever. I cannot lie, but you're an interesting character.
Mike Apple, guys. Mike
DM'd him on
Apple.
Twitter. Sent him my film. He responded. I'm like, oh shit, this might actually work out. So he was like, yeah, I liked your film. What made you interested? I was like, one of my homeboys named Nasir Johnson. He played there for a year before I got there. So yeah, so I kept texting him. Went on a visit down there, and went
How
out
how old are you at this point?
19.
Still
I'm
19.
still 19. I was young. It's probably spring. So I go down there on a visit. It's during COVID. I knew a bunch of other people there. My boy Brian Quiller. Shout out my boy B. That's a little bro right there for real. Knew him. I knew a couple of the guys. So go down there on my visit with my godmama and go in there to sit down with the coach. And this is a Coach Pry. Love you too, Coach Pry. So we're in there talking. He was like, yeah, I'm kind of full on guards right now. How you feel about playing forward? I was like, I'll do it. I'll sign it right now.
Wow.
He's like,
Wow.
you want time to think about it? No, I'm good. Let's do it. Where I need to come. Came down there next week with my parents. Signed my letter of intent. I was all set for Sand Hills.
Sand Hills.
Yeah.
Guys, that's how we got to Sand Hills, man.
That's
Joey
how we got to Sand
McMullin.
Hills.
That's
That's how we
exactly
got to
how we
Sand
got
Hills.
there.
Sand Hills is a movie, yeah.
Wow. Wouldn't regret it. Wouldn't want to go anywhere else.
No, Sand Hills was amazing.
Big love
Sand Hills
for
is
Sand
amazing.
Hills.
Best. I'm gonna say this right now. Anybody who's interested in playing 2-year basketball in the state of North Carolina, go to Sand Hills Community College. It'll change you as a player.
Take that as you will,
Yeah,
guys. Take that as you will. That's pretty good advice. Sand Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Sand Hills. Okay. Okay. So you go there,
Mm-hmm.
2-time All-Region, 2-time All-American,
Mm-hmm.
2-time academic All-Region.
Mm-hmm.
So I see we got back on track. Career average at 14 points a game. I'm sure you was doing much else. Defense, as I even watched myself, got a lot better.
Yeah, got
As
a
I
lot better.
must
Had to
say.
get better on there. Yeah, had to
I
get
like
better down
that.
there. Yeah.
I like that. What does that even mean to you now? Looking back, you put in the work, you put in the effort. Once again, guys, 2-time All-Region, 2-time All-American, 2-time academic All-Region.
I'm gonna throw some more in there. I was Conference Player of the Year, and I got Freshman of the Year. But let's go back. Let's rewind this whole
There it is.
situation. So I get to Sand Hill. School starts. They're one of the nationally best programs in America. So I'm coming in. I'm like, well, shit, I'm not gonna play. I might redshirt. But for me at the time, I just wanted to go to school and hoop, be around people because I love being around people. I'm very talkative, I'm very social. So I'm like, if I redshirt, oh well, I'll suck it up. I'm ready to hoop. I'll do anything. So people didn't know who I was. The coach didn't even know what I could do. Nobody knew what I could do. So I'm just like, all right, let's work with what people gave me. Let's do it. So
It's a good mindset to have.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I'm thinking I'm going to redshirt. So we go down to Georgia for a jamboree. In JUCO, you have jamborees. You go to play like little AAU tournaments. So we go down there, and I'm on the white team. The white team is like the people they're unsure about. They don't know if they're going to get redshirted or what. So I go down there the first game. It's running clock. I think I had like 20 points. They were like, oh, shit, he can actually play. White boy can play. So the first game, one of our forwards get hurt. Cam Zach, he can hoop. Hey, shout out my boy Cam Zach. He can hoop. Messes up his knee. So bam, they're like, all right, Joe, you come play. Cam hurt. So I'm like, oh, it's an opportunity for me. So I'm on the bench, come off the bench, and my boy Brian, high flyer. Oh my, talk about get up. He goes up and try to dunk on somebody. Came down, broke his wrist. Those are our 2 forwards right there, 2 starting forwards.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, well, shit. my opportunity to come. Let's run with it. So I do good that second game. We only played 2 games. On the way back, they're like, yeah, Brian's out till December. Cam Zach's out till December. So I'm like, well, shit. Let's rock out then. So first game comes around, play at Lenore Community College. I did all right. Probably had 10, 12 points.
Sure.
Second game at home, nobody knew who I was. Joe Dirt came alive. That's when Joe Dirt came alive. Floaters, all types of stuff, hook shots, you name it, I was doing it.
Floaters and hook shots.
So then after that, I went on a little tear, and then I got National Player of the Week. So I'm just like, oh, okay, this is pretty fun. I think I established myself. So,
how did that feel?
I mean, it felt good. I worked hard for it. I mean, countless hours in the gym, sacrificed a bunch of stuff, but hey, it was worth it in the long run. So. But, yeah, Coach called me in the office. He said, son, you really surprised me. I'm like, appreciate you, Coach. Hey, thank you very much. So, first half of the season, we're doing good. We're losing some games. We're missing 2 of our better players. So, like, we're good. I'm starting, I'm doing good. Then we played Davidson Davie Community College. And that's Brian Quiller's first game back. And Coach Apple comes inside. He's like, how you feel about coming on the bench? I was like, I don't care. Shoot. Like, I want to win. So, start coming off the bench, and we get killed that game. I ain't going to lie. We got smacked on New Year's Day. So, then after that, I started coming off the bench, and I found my role. Like, I love coming off the bench. That's when all the scrubs came in, and I was still good, So, I get in there and get to cooking. I'm like, oh, yeah, these motherfuckers can't fuck me. So, then, yeah, we get deeper in the season. We're winning games. We're doing good, beating everybody in conference. And we get to, what was it? What game did I know? I was like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty good. It was Hosanna Bible College. I think I had like 30 that game in like probably 20 minutes. So I was just like, oh, I'm actually pretty good at basketball. So
that's a great look.
Yeah.
That's a great look.
I didn't even play the rest of the 8 minutes of the game. They took me out with 8 minutes to go. I was like, oh, shit, all right. So, yeah, we're doing good. We're winning some games. We were a young team. Like, we were young, like, my boy Chris, he was 18, starting college. I mean, nobody was 20 yet, even hooping. We were playing against grown-ass men. We were playing, team. So you know how COVID was. You know how COVID is still, like all these old people. So we're playing a JUCO in our conference. And the dude has been there since 2018. This is 2022 now.
Wow. And y'all are playing people like that?
Yes. And beating them.
Wow.
So we rolled through our conference, and we get to our conference tournament my first year, and we're playing the worst team in the conference. We're like, oh, yeah, we're going to mollywop these boys. Shit. It won't that. High-scoring game. We almost lost that game to the worst team in the conference. Yes. We won 105 to 103.
They came out swinging.
With
everything they had.
We weren't ready. I'm like, oh, shit, we got to hoop, boys. So we got hooping. People stepped up. My boy Kendall. Shout out my boy Kenny, man. He was hooping, came out of his shell that game. Bam. We get to the Region 10 championship game. When was this? All my homeboys in there. Who's there? My boy Makai Holt. Who else?
Good guy to know.
Makai Holt, people over there. All my homeboys. And we end up being down 13 with 2 minutes to go. And we're like, oh shit, we're not gonna win this. We're not going to win. And we come back, and my roommate, Daryl, he wasn't the best shooter ever. I'm not going to say he couldn't shoot. But down by 3 with 10 seconds to go, shoots 3, cashes it. I'm like, oh, shit. They ain't going to mess with us in overtime. So get to overtime, we win. And after all that championship game stuff, we do the awards, and Coach tells me, he was like, yeah, you got freshman of the year, player of the year, off team first region. I'm like, I start crying a little bit. I'm like, well, shit, this is the most awards I ever got in my life.
That's a good moment to cry.
My first year was experience. It was real fun. Then my second year, I mean, it wasn't really a whole lot to talk about. I mean, the same thing happened. We were really good. We went 30-4, played on ESPN, made it to the national championship game. Came up a little short.
That had to feel good, though.
It felt good making the national championship. Last 2 games, you feel me? I mean, last 2 people playing in the national championship, like.
How many people can speak on that?
Not a lot of people can speak on that. Like, we made it all the way. But my second year was really a movie. I enjoyed every second of it. Loved it. Loved it.
I'm glad that worked out for you. Any lessons from that, just to give to, because I mean, everybody has heard your whole story,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm glad that you disclosed that and felt comfortable enough to share that with us here on the No Name Podcast. I'm sorry, guys, interview. But I'm sure a lot of younger guys looking up, man. Um, that means a lot that you actually disclose all your ups and downs and roller coaster
That's what
rides, man. I'm
happened.
sure
It's
they
life.
appreciated
It's
that.
life. I mean, but yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I learned from it is my coach was an older guy. He said, just gotta be on time to stuff, like being on time, waking up at a certain time, being in the class, doing that, and that prepares you for life. Like we had the 7:45 check-ins. When I was 19, I was like, why the hell we gotta do this shit? But now that I work, we gotta be at work at 8:30. You be there 15 minutes before you gotta go to work.
Right. Right.
It's good life experiences. Somebody else messing up on the job site, somebody else moving to court. Hey, pick it up a little bit, man. You good? We gonna be here for you. Don't worry. Life lessons. Basketball and life, they can. You feel me?
It can correlate. I'm glad that worked out
Mhm.
for you. I'm really glad to
Mhm.
and blessed to really hear your story on that. Because after you left, I mean, you went to Philly. I didn't hear
Yeah,
anything.
I kind of went MIA for a little bit. I
Right.
was like, I do not want to go back to Hillsborough.
Right. I'm glad you got that
Mhm.
reconciled. Really a bonus question for not so much me, but just everybody out there.
This is a good one.
So I kind of met you through watching you play like a year before I started coaching over at the high school, which Coach, I really appreciate that. The opportunity was great. I got to be around some fun guys, man, and I even learned a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys don't know that a lot of that I was doing for free.
We appreciate
just
you
out of
with that.
respect.
You know, you was a positive person in our corner. You know how that was.
I try to
Yeah.
make shift as best I can. Gosh, man, to wrap it up, you know, and I had the chance to play under both Coach McMulliin and Coach Britt. Coach McMulliin, very short time, but a life lesson learned there, even from myself, back at 16, 17 years old. So I appreciate him for that. But it was a tough life lesson nonetheless. So your relationship with Motley versus your relationship with Coach Britt, being that you played for both of
Saved the
them.
best for last, didn't you? Yeah, Motlow. I mean, I've known Motley since I was in middle school. I mean, he trained me, he coached me. I mean, he knew who I was up and down, all that. I still talk to him to this day, but he entrusted me as a 14-year-old to start on varsity. So, I mean, I still talk to him. We worked out. I worked out when he left from Orange.
Wow.
Great coach, smart guy, doesn't yell, didn't do none of that. One of the best coaches in high school right now. Coach Britt, good guy, means well. The relationship wasn't as strong. Yeah, it wasn't as strong. Kind of butted heads sometimes about some stuff.
Right.
I didn't like some of the stuff he did. I didn't like some of the stuff he did in practice. But, you know, he's a grown man, so, hey, stuff happens for a reason. All respect for what he's doing now. He's got a good little thing going on in Orange. That's all I'm going to say on that one.
That's all we're going to leave it right there.
Yeah,
all right.
right there.
We'll leave it there right where we at. Lastly, two things. We'll probably have a part two because I really anticipate.
There's more. I got more stories, y'all.
Doing very well. So we of course are gonna invite those stories in. What does the future look like? You know, do you think you'll get back into kind of like dealing with basketball a little bit, or you just kind of leaving your options open a little bit?
Right now, I'm just taking it day by day. I'm 22, just turned 22. It's day by day right now.
That's
just
it.
Day by day. No point in thinking about the future. Just live day by day.
Day by day.
Day by day. That's my motto right there.
That's it. Any words of encouragement for the little ones looking up to you, or have looked up to you through watching you in the stands?
Go to school. Drink your chocolate milk. That's all I got to say.
That's it. That's a That's a very Joe Dirtish answer. I appreciate you once again, Joey McMullins. Joey McMullins, guys. Love him, hate him. You gotta respect it.
It's Joe Dirt, baby.